We're taking a look at the biggest global tech stories with someone who runs one of the most popular blogs covering social media and the web. He's Pete Cashmore, founder and CEO of Mashable. He joins us this afternoon from Scotland, I should say, via Skype. Good afternoon to you. Pete, what are you seeing most buzzed about right now?
Hi, Margaret. Well, I think there are kind of a few big stories in the tech sphere today, and I would say that, the one that's really bubbling up is the Apple tablet right now. So Apple put out a notification yesterday, an invite to tech bloggers, inviting them to an event next Wednesday, the 27th, and they're going to be launching the Apple tablet. So what's exciting about that is that it's basically a big iPhone, and there's rumors that potentially they might be working with HarperCollins to use it as kind of an ebook reader. So it could be a really exciting time for the publishing industry where, much like iTunes, or perhaps even in iTunes, you could be buying books and reading them on this tablet device. So I think that's really bubbling up, and that's going to be the huge story next week to see, what happens with this tablet. Is it the next iPhone? Is it the next iPod? Is it Apple, hitting it out the ballpark yet again?
Any buzz about how this is going to compare to some of the other options out there, the Kindle or Barnes & Noble's technology that they have in terms of ebooks?
Right. So, the hype is, being an Apple product, the hype is extremely high in the tech sphere. I think, the advantage that Apple has is that a lot of people are already using iTunes, and they're already in that ecosystem. And a lot of people haven't yet gotten into the Kindle ecosystem and the Kindle store. So you could have a situation where it's really the software that carries this one. If you already have an iPod, you already have an iPhone, you're already using iTunes for your music, that could potentially be Apple's competitive advantage there over the Kindle and so on. You could also mention that maybe the tablet is going to be kind of a device that can do many things, whereas the Kindle can only really do one thing. It can only read books.
How much buzz are you seeing out there about Google's decision to perhaps delay, perhaps not launch its smartphone in China? We've been talking about their web search business and some of the very public showdown that's happening on that front in terms of censorship. But in terms of product and access to that market, how much concern is there?
Well, I think it's possibly the biggest story of the year. I think there is huge concern, or at least huge interest. Certainly as a moral question, people have questioned whether Google should be in China and should be censoring its results to start with. And this might be the thing that tips the balance, and Google might decide, hey, we would rather just pull out than censor our results, and perhaps other tech companies will follow suit. We don't know. Perhaps you could get a situation where Yahoo and Microsoft say, you know what, this isn't worth it. Certainly there's stories that China is perhaps attacking these companies, trying to get information from users, so perhaps it's not worth the hassle for them.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer at Microsoft on this network said, he wouldn't even consider exiting the Chinese marketplace right now. Some have said Google's not even 100% positive that it was China, though, leading those attacks, hacking those email accounts on Gmail. What are some of the conspiracy theories out there, or is public sentiment pretty much already decided?
I think there is so much confusion over this issue, and the facts are changing so quickly that the simple answer is nobody seems to know. I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than anyone has been able to write about, anyone has been able to find out. I think that the simple answer to that is nobody really knows. It seems to be a lot of guesswork right now. Google isn't talking all that much publicly. All they've said is, there was this hack. They're thinking about stopping censoring their results or pulling out. And that's about, all the established facts, and the rest appears to be conspiracy.
Microsoft has been out there saying that Internet Explorer, they think, has sort of gotten a bad rap in this. Basically it was a hole in security wall that allowed some hacking there via Internet Explorer. But they've come out and said that German authorities, French authorities have overstated the vulnerability on that front. Are you hearing about that actually playing into how people access the web right now? Are consumers making different choices based on that?
Sure. So Microsoft has had a lot of bad press for Internet Explorer 6 in particular. And, the French and German governments have gone so far as to say, stop using Internet Explorer, start using Firefox or Chrome or more modern browsers. I think, the consensus in the tech community, and, this is still developing, is that IE6 is really a very, very dangerous browser to be using. And if you're still using Internet Explorer 6, you very much should upgrade. It's been known to have numerous flaws. I think the consensus in the tech community is also generally that Firefox and Google Chrome are safer.
Right.
But I think it's respectable enough to be using Internet Explorer 8 at this point. Certainly, it's hurting Microsoft, though.
Pete, we've covered a lot of territory, but I did want to make sure that we got to the topic of Haiti, because a lot of it has been made about the idea that the web has changed charitable giving, or at least charitable fundraising, in the wake of the devastation and the earthquake in Haiti. What's the latest? I mean, are you really seeing a real resurgence in interest in giving via the web?
I think so. What's really key about this, and I think the latest numbers are over $20 million. I saw 21 million last night from these text campaigns. It's very, very simple. For instance, the Red Cross, you just text into 90999, and $10 goes straight to the campaign. I think it's so much simpler than it's ever been before. And what's key about that message, about just texting a word to a number, is that it spreads really virally on sites like Twitter and Facebook. It's something you can share in those really short status updates, and then people reshare that, and we've seen a lot of top celebrities sharing out that message. So it's a combination of the ease of giving through these services and the ability for that message to spread very, very quickly through services like Twitter and Facebook, something we've never seen before.
Interesting to see how companies can figure out how to change that quick response on the consumer side to quick payouts on the ground. I know Verizon says they're still trying to figure out just how to get those funds more quickly to Haiti. Thank you so much, Pete Cashmore, joining us via Skype from Aberdeen, Scotland this morning. Pete, of course, of Mashable.